Hello everyone and welcome back to Learn to Love DIY. Today, before we get started on our project for today's video, I want to go ahead and show you the front, which is all I can show you. This is August to December's 2020 mini catalog, and this is what the front of the catalog looks like. It'll be available starting August, and it has a lot of great goodies. I've already done a mini pre-order of a couple of the bundles there, and I can definitely start sharing this before the season comes in. So I got something for Halloween and Christmas, and I can start sharing some of those projects as soon as I get them in. So to get started, and of course, if you don't already have a demonstrator, I'd be happy to be yours. Just go ahead and send me an email and I'd be happy to send you a catalog. Or you can go ahead and go over onto the website and take a look at the catalogs that are currently available before August there. And you can order anything. I will go ahead and in the notes section put in my name as well as in the description box so that they are able to see how you can find me the easiest way. So today's project is a well done card. It's fun, yet quite simple, not too difficult. I used circle dies to create this. And it says, "You're kind of a big deal," and I used the whale and a couple of circle dies here. And then kept it very simple on the inside, just whisper white. And then this cutout is from this DSP here. And then I went ahead and used Wink Stella for my whale. And I did use for the sentiment and the whale, I used the Blackberry Bliss. And then I used this stamp set, of course. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'll put the stamp set on the side. I've already pre-done a couple of the things since we're going to be doing die cuts. I have my 2 circles, so you need 2 different sizes to create the circles. I'm going to be using the same size. I do believe I like this side, although you could use either side. But I did switch out the color. I wanted to see what this color would look like. Just kind of taking off the colors off the fishes that come in the DSP here. And just to briefly show you, the DSP is Wheel of a Time, and it comes in 6x6. So you get tons of different designs. I can very briefly show you. I didn't show all the paper, but you can definitely look at some of the details of what it looks like when you go online to order it. So I'll show you the side. So I have a pretty peacock piece of cardstock that measures 11 inches by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. And then I have the DSP that'll go on the outside that measures 4 by 5 1/4. And then you'll have a whisper white piece that measures 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. You'll need a small square of whisper white that measures 1 1/8 by 1 1/4, and then one to frame it. I'm using the same color, Pretty Peacock, that I used for the base card, which is 1 1/2 and 1 3/8. And then I went ahead and stamped in Blackberry Bliss another whale image, okay? And then I used my punch to go ahead and cut the whale out. And this is the punch here. Okay. Sorry, I had to pause the video. My daughter came and asked me a question. Okay, so the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is with the larger circle, in order to get the rim that I have here to show, we're going to do the large one on the DSP, and then we're going to come back and then do the small one on the cardstock so that we get that pretty little ring there. So I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and run it through my machine. I'll be back, and I'll be running it just about there to give it enough room so I can put my sentiment on the bottom, and so that it's not too thin on either of the remaining 3 sides as well. Okay, so I'll be right back. Alright, so this is what it looks like now die cut. save this. You'll be using this for the insert of your card. Put this aside. We won't need that any longer. And that what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to put this on top of our base card. Try to center it as much as possible. And then we are going to center this guy in there. Going to remove this guy. Now, if it makes you feel any better and if you don't have a magnetic die cut, you can put a sticky note. You can put a sticky note to hold it in place. So I'm going to go ahead and run it through my machine and come back. Okay, I went ahead and ran this guy. I did use a sticky note. I don't have a magnetic platform. So that is my choice. And so you have, this is what you're going to have left over. Possibly for a different project, but that's what you'll have left over. And then you'll have time to go ahead and assemble the card. So I'm going to be using my Tombow, my multi-purpose liquid glue. I'm going to go ahead and do the skyline. And like I said, you can in turn use this side if that's what you chose to do. I'm going to have to make some changes. This guy looks a little too crooked for my taste. I think that when I took the sticky note out and pressed it down, I think I might have moved it a bit. So what I'm going to do in order to remedy it, I won't edit this part out because I want you to know that you can always change things around and make the card better. I'm going to go ahead and just die cut the big circle off of the base card, and it should work still about the same. You just won't have the rim like you do for this card, and let's see how that turns out, and I'll be back. Alright guys, so let's see how we're going to make this work. I went ahead and went back and die cut the same size circle, and now I'm going to go ahead and glue it down and see how we can make it work. Now it won't look the same as I mentioned earlier, but it's not going to change the card overly much. Okay. So here we have this portion. Let's go ahead and do the rest. We're going to do the inside and do our whisper white. Just centering this, and then bringing our circle die and lining that up right in that manner. Okay, so can be just a tad bit easier because the die or the circle die matches or is the same size. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and use some dimensionals. That's all we're going to use as far as the liquid adhesive. Going to need some dimensionals. Okay, so I was wrong. We'll be needing a little bit more of the liquid adhesive for this bottom sentiment here. And I'm just making it equidistant from the circle here to the bottom there. And then we're going to do the Wika Stella, and then I'm going to take out my black gel pen. This is for the eye. And then the Wika Stella will just go on the whale's body. Okay. So not quite what I was expecting due to the bit of a mistake that I made with the circle or the movement from the circle die, but we were able to fix it using the larger die to get a similar result. And so there you have it. This is the one we made on video, and this is the one I made prior. I kind of like this one more though. I really like how the pop of color makes the card look. So if you can help it, don't do it as I do. Try to double check that the circle is well placed, the circle die is well placed before you go ahead and run it through your die cutting machine. That way you avoid making the mistake that I did. Although this card will still work in any case. So I hope that you've enjoyed today's tutorial. I hope that you are able to create this card. This is the one I intended. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Feel free to email me if you need any help with any of your orders. And again, I'd be happy to be your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator if you don't have one already. And thank you very much for watching. You guys have a great one.